So I'm glad I didn't stay here last night. As you can see, there's some shoes down there. There's all sorts of branches all over here. Yeah, the shoe tree. Yeah, the wind event last year was pretty rough. So I'm very glad that I made the choice to. Yeah. This is the pass through at Neal's Gap. It's the only place on the Appalachian Trail where the trail goes through a building. And in last year in 2024, after my tent blew down on the hill, I spent a really horrible night laying on this ground right here. There was another hiker over here next to me, and the next day we went into town and found a hotel room to sleep in. But yeah, sleeping here was very, very not pleasant. Oh shit. That is why, when I heard there was going to be a horrible windstorm last night, I wanted off this mountain. I did not want to repeat it last year. And it was definitely a smart decision. When we got up here this morning, there were tree branches all over the parking lot. There's a broken window at Neal's Gap where a tree branch went right through the window. And some people in town, when we went to get breakfast at a restaurant in town, some of the people said that they were out of power. They had no power. So, wild. Anyway, I'm going to use the bathroom before hiking out of here. And my goal is to get the Hog Pen Gap today. We'll see how I do. Hey guys, it is the morning of March 5th, I believe. It's about 9 a.m. I'm heading out from Neal's Gap. Heading up the trail. Yeah, I made it yesterday. How about you?
Yeah, I took a 0 day and I'm about to get...
So it's a cold, dreary morning. There's a part of me that just wants to find some place to set my tent up and curl up and go to sleep, despite having a fairly good night at the motel last night and a big breakfast this morning. But I haven't taken any zeros yet, so I'm gonna walk a few miles and then I might do that. I did get a new pair of shoes while I was in Neal's Gap. Pair of ultra low tops. So I'm hoping that helps with the toe problem I've been having. We'll have to see. My goal for today is 7 miles to do Hog Pen Gap. But we will. Alright, it's Wednesday, March 5th. It's about 10:30. I only walked 1.1 miles today so far. I guess I could walk more. I know I'm in my tent. The reason I'm in my tent is because my big toe has been bothering me. Hurts like right in this area on top of the foot. So I'm a little concerned about that. I picked up some new shoes while I was in Neal's Gap. And I picked up, where is it? I just had it. Yeah, I picked this up. It's a cork ball. I've seen hikers use it. Basically, you're supposed to use it to rub along the bottom of your foot. And release some tension. It's very light cork. I've never used one of these before, but I figured it was like $7.99, and I've heard they're supposed to be really good, so I picked one up. Currently I just have my pad down. I haven't put my inflatable pad down, although there's a hard lump on the ground, so I might hike further today. I might not. I want to give my foot time to heal. I don't want to have to get off trail. But there's another campsite in like 3 miles, so if the sun comes out, if it warms up a little, I might get up and hike to there. But I might not. Since I'm more concerned about not injuring myself, I wanted to show you another thing I found while I was in Neal's Gap. They had a couple different varieties of hiker hummus. I was looking for hiker hummus on before I started the trail, but I couldn't find any. Well, okay, I was looking for the organic. This doesn't say organic. But it's a little pricey, but to be honest, they basically charge the retailer suggested price for everything at Neal's Gap. So I'm guessing that $4.99 is what this actually sells for, or close to that. But how does it work? I'm looking for the instructions. Add water. The last time I had hummus, it called for you to add water and oil, and I have oil. But this doesn't call for oil, just for water. The ingredients: chickpeas, water, lime juice, roasted corn, jalapenos, garlic, salt, black pepper, and cumin. Yeah, I probably will add a little oil to it, even though it doesn't require it. So I got 2 packages. I got the jalapeno and roasted corn, and I got a Thai basil. And while not organic, it looks like it's, I mean, it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so that's good. Well, it doesn't tell you it does. So I got these. I got the wooden ball, the cork ball. What else did I get? Oh, I got the new boots, and I got a towel. Oh, give me a second, I'll show it to you. Oh. All right. So I got a pack towel that has an added feature that I kind of like. On one side it says "Hiker to Town." Can't really see it because it's all folded up. On one side it says "Hiker to Town," and on the other side it says "Hiker to Trail." I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people have forgotten what hitchhiking is. In the past, like last year, there would be times when I'd be hitchhiking to town with the resupply, and I'd have my thumb up on the side of the road, and people would drive by and they'd put their thumb up and give me a thumbs up and wave and smile and keep going. And it's like, hey, I'm trying to get a ride here, give me a break. So I figured a sign would help. I can hold it up on the side of the road. People will know I'm trying to get a ride and not just, laugh at me. I mean, I'm sure some people will still laugh at me, but, you can't, and not everybody's going to know what's going on. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to curl up with my, with a good book, let my foot heal for a little while. I may get up later and hike, I might not. This tent still feels too small, but it's starting to grow on me. I kind of like it. I might keep it. And when I mentioned in my last video that I found a way to set my tent up with the trekking pole points down, somebody commented that they didn't like the trekking pole points down because it can sink into the ground. But I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You push the pole down into the ground, and then you stake out the tent above it with the handles up, and it keeps your tent up. As long as you've got the little circle, it can't go any further in the ground than that. So yeah, that's how I feel trekking pole tents are supposed to be set up, and that's how I've been able to make it work. I figured, like I showed you, put your handle strap through the loop, and then over the trekking pole, and it keeps it locked in tight. I wanted to show you another thing I found while I was in Neil's Gap. They had a couple different varieties of hiker hummus. I was looking for hiker hummus on before I started the trail, but I couldn't find any. Well, okay, I was looking for the organic. This doesn't say organic, but it's a little pricey. But to be honest, they basically charge the retailer suggested price for everything at Neil's Gap. So I'm guessing that $4.99 is what this actually sells for, or close to that. But how does it work? I'm looking for the instructions. Add water. The last time I had hummus, it called for you to add water and oil, and I have oil. But this doesn't call for oil, just for water. The ingredients: chickpeas, water, lime juice, roasted corn, jalapenos, garlic, salt, black pepper, and cumin. Yeah, I probably will add a little oil to it, even though it doesn't require it. So I got 2 packages. I got the jalapeno and roasted corn, and I got a Thai basil. And while not organic, it looks like it's, I mean, it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so that's good. Well, it doesn't tell you it does. So I got these. I got the wooden ball, the cork ball. What else did I get? Oh, I got the new boots, and I got a towel. Oh, give me a second. I'll show it to you. Yep. All right. So I got a pack towel that has an added feature that I kind of like. On one side it says "Hiker to Town." Can't really see it because it's all folded up. On one side it says "Hiker to Town," and on the other side it says "Hiker to Trail." I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people have forgotten what hitchhiking is. In the past, like last year, there would be times when I'd be hitchhiking to town with the resupply, and I'd have my thumb up on the side of the road, and people would drive by and they'd put their thumb up and give me a thumbs up and wave and smile and keep going. And it's like, hey, I'm trying to get a ride here, give me a break. So I figured a sign would help. I can hold it up on the side of the road, people will know I'm trying to get a ride and not just, laugh at me. So I never did to get up today and go any further. I only walked a little over a mile today, but my toe is feeling much better. I'm flexing it right now, and it's not hurting as much as it was this morning. So that's a good thing. That is really the point of only walking a little ways today. I wanted to let my toe heal a little, and I think it's doing so. The weather is cold, and we've been getting rain off and on. There's a chance of snow this evening. So that's not great, but toasty warm in the sleeping bag. Like I said, the sleeping bag is a Lost Ranger. There is only one very small problem I have with it. It's as I'm sure you can find online if you look, and I'll post an image of it. Hopefully I'll get some actual footage of it, but I'll post an image of it in this video. It has two bags. It has an outer bag and an inner bag. And I use the inner bag like I would a blanket. Instead of zipping myself up in it, I just have it over my shoulder. But that means that if I put the hood up over my head, well, there's no air hole, which is a little awkward. So, yeah, not great. But I'm sleeping in my shirt, and I can put my hood on the shirt up, and that'll give my hair a little warmth. Yeah, like that. All right. Otherwise, I'm completely cozy warm. This is a fantastic sleeping bag, and I really recommend it. Good morning, everybody. It is March 6th. I am completely bundled up in my sleeping bag. I have the inner bag zipped up, and the outer bag. It is very cold outside, and I am not getting up yet. It snowed a little bit, and the tent is coated with snow, which I'm not getting up. It's cold, so it's hard to tell how much snow is out there. It doesn't look like much, but the air is very cold. I'm waiting for the sun to come up before I think about getting up. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I don't think there's much out there. It's just very, very cold, and I'm very, very warm, so I'm not getting up. So it's 8:30. My tent is still frozen. It's basically ice. Even if I was to get up, I couldn't be able to pack up right now. Well, it's 10:30. I don't know if it's gonna warm up any today, but my tent is like frozen. It's got ice caked to it. I'm considering walking down the mountain. It's only a mile, 1.1 miles back to Neil's Gap. I could take my food bag and my day pack and hike down there and get some resupply. Then come back up here without ever taking my tent down. So I don't know, I'm thinking about it. We'll see what happens in an hour or so, but I'll probably end up doing that. Good morning. It's 8:39 on March 7th. I am starting to pack up. I need to go through my food bag and see how much food I have. It's going to take me, it's 20 miles to Unicoi Gap. It's going to take me 3 days to do that, I think. But I might need to go back into Neil's Gap and get some food before I try it. So I'm going to have to take out part of my food bag. I'm pretty sure I'm out of bars and snacks. So I think I need to go back into Neil's Gap, as much as I hate to backtrack. Jeez, I look like shit. Oh well. So I'm almost completely packed up. I'll show you this. There was ice in the ground underneath my tent last night. I didn't see it until after I shattered it. But that's how cold it was last night. But I was toasty warm in my sleeping bag. So I got everything packed up except for my tent. That's the next step. Getting up, packing up the tent. And then I'm going to go back into Neil's Gap to get a little more food. As much as I don't want to do that mile 2 more times, I'm going to do it. Because I don't think I can make it to Unicoi without food. So I got a little bit of a confession to make. I just took a ride from Neil Gap to Hog Pen Gap, which skipped about 8 miles of trail. I didn't want to hike back up that mile that I hiked down today. I'd already done that once, and so this is the next road. Well, it's not really the next road. There was a incredibly steep uphill between here and where I... Anyway, so I skipped a little bit. But I am gonna push today. I should make it to Low Gap Shelter. That's about 5 miles from here. So had a good conversation with a friend of a friend. So trying to be honest when I skip. I don't want to do it all a lot, but I did do it here. Sorry for that. Oh, but now I'm no chance of getting stuck at Neil's Gap, right? Because Neil's Gap is 8 miles back. Anyway, I'm gonna push hard, like at the Low Gap Shelter tonight. That's another 5 miles or so, and then 4.4 miles according to this sign here. So 4.4 miles to Low Gap. I'll spend the night there. I'll make it to Blue Mountain tomorrow. Hopefully we get past some of the cold weather. Not sure what the fuck this is. That is weird. Not sure how that ended up here. But, oh, here's another hiker who I passed earlier today. Alright, pushing on. Okay, I don't know who's leaving these figurines out here, but as funny as it is, it's definitely not cool. So whoever needs doing this shit needs to stop. And I will be telling Tanya. I'll send Tanya a message later. Check that out. It's probably 50 now, but that's still frozen solid. Alright, let's get my pack on and do some miles. Oh. I'm about 3.5 miles from Low Gap Shelter, and I'm a little low on water, so I gotta make some miles today. Ooh, that's having trouble with the wind. Alright, let's get the belt a little loose. Alright, let's see. See how we do. Finally a good day for hiking. The last 2 days were bitterly cold, but today's not bad. Well, yesterday was bitterly cold. Last 2 nights were bitterly cold. Today's not bad. I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. I just changed the settings a little. so it's not quite as far away, hopefully, and has an easier time following me. We'll see how that does for a little while. My toe still hurts a little bit, but it's not as bad. And I've got new boots on, so hopefully these guys last a couple 100 miles, because they're really expensive. I paid $165 for these new boots, which is expensive, but isn't really that bad. The pair that I was hiked with last year, I was looking at a new pair of those, and they were $185, so that's $20 less than what I was expecting to have to pay for a new pair of boots. Anyway, this is a pretty area. Pretty flat for the next couple miles. I think I've got 500 feet up over the next 2 miles, and then it's downhill to the shelter. But whatever. That's what the trail does. It goes up, it goes down, it goes back up, it goes back down. If you want a flat trail, go hike the Florida Trail and deal with the gators. In fact, I met gator bait today. I named him last year. I thought I was talking to Fire, my friend Fire, who got his tent eaten, but it was this guy that I met today. So that was funny. But yeah, I suggested his trail name. I saw his tent get eaten, and I said, hey, you should call yourself Gator Bait. And he took that. So that's funny. Anyways. The drone seems to be putting up some great footage. I think people have really enjoyed actually seeing the trail and seeing me hiking. Yeah, I took a little bit of a yellow blaze today. I don't feel guilty at all. And if people don't like it, they can go watch somebody else. I've done this section of the trail 5 times. Well, this is my 5th time. So, I didn't really want to do that super steep uphill. It's like a mile uphill and half a mile of trail. Sure, it's switchbacks, but still, that's pretty damn steep. And I wanted to get out of Neal Gap. I didn't want to get stuck there. I've already been there for a couple days due to bad weather. So, I believe I'll be in Hiawassee and posting this video up on Monday. So then I'll do Unicoi to Dix Creek and be back in Hiawassee on Wednesday. But we'll see what happens. My goal today is low gap shelter, although I might push further depending on what time I get there. I do need to get there quickly because I only have about half a liter of water left and I'm thirsty. But it's not too bad. The trail is nice and smooth. Despite being frozen solid this morning, it's not too muddy. At least this section's not. Little girl got stuck behind a tree. But she found her way around. So I decided to name my drone Buddy. Don't know why, just picked the name. She's my little buddy. Don't know why I decided she's a she, but she is. Finally a nice day out. Holy crap, it was cold yesterday. I swore I would get up when it warmed up, and it just never did. Thought about going down to Neal Gap around 2 or 1 o'clock or 2, but I didn't feel comfortable leaving my gear alone on the mountain. It probably would have been fine, but I don't want to risk my through hike on probably, so. And it all worked out. I ran into a trail angel. I offered him some money to take me up to Hog Gap because I didn't want to walk that section, and he wouldn't even accept gas money. Hello. Ah, crap.